Hello, summer. Summer is all about change. Summer is all about creating new habits and starting new things. Summer is a time where everybody else is on break, where everyone is on vacation. Or maybe not. Maybe you're still in school and maybe you're still working that busy job. But even then, change still brings up something inside of you to want to change. I still remember when I was in middle school and like back in the days, I used to love watching, I got to watch thousands of YouTube videos on what to do, like how to wake up early in the morning, or how to start a routine, or even the simple things like what's on my iPhone. Like I just wanted things to change. So Holy Girl Summer. What is Holy Girl Summer? Holy Girl Summer is about becoming the God version of you. So there is a version. The Bible says that God has written out our story. God has already written out a version of you. So it's about becoming that version of you. So even though the world is on vacation, we know that we cannot afford to take a vacation from the Lord. So it's about really taking advantage of the summer. I always say it's best to start when you're motivated. Because although we need discipline to continue, motivation is like a way to kickstart you in the right direction. Like in January or in the summertime, it's the time to say, okay, now I'm motivated and this is the time for me to grow closer to God and start new habits. And so what a better time than to do it now than before we go back to our busy schedules? Because once we're back to our routines, into our busy and all the busyness, it's going to be a whole lot harder to grow and lean in closer to the Lord. So I think during the summer, we get like a whole list and there's all these things that we want to do, and it can start to that list can start to look pretty long. But something I really wanted and something that I really think we should do is before we do that is really to lean into God and say, okay, God, what is it that you want for me this summer? Because we have a lot. That list can really become long, but it's really about, okay, God, what is the direction that you want my life to take in this season? So this is kind of what I'm doing here. I'm starting off journaling, and I kind of just journaled that. I kind of journaled praying over the summer and to just really grow even closer to the Lord. Because in the summertime, everybody is all about, okay, summer glow up, right? Everyone wants to glow up. Everyone wants to change. Everyone wants to lose weight. Everyone wants to look different. And although I'm all for that, I think the biggest glow up that you can have, the best glow up is to have a friendship with the Lord. The best glow up is to really have God a priority in your life. That's the biggest glow up. And then the rest things come secondary. But for sure, Jesus is always first. So maybe just start off by asking God, what do you want from me this summer? And I think as Jesus is that person that we want to become more like. I think God also gave us somebody, especially as women, that we can also look up to and kind of find more practical ways on how to do that. And it's in the Proverbs 31 woman. So here I am. It's so funny because I did actually plan this out. I was doing my devotional and I was reading Proverbs 31 and I was like, wow, what a best example, to have for this Holy Girl Summer is to be just like the Proverbs 31 woman, and to really lean in and say, okay, what are her things? So right now I'm really just I'm pulling up the Bible app because I just want to kind of read some of the characteristics that the Proverbs 31 woman has. So one of them says that she wakes up before dawn. So the Proverbs 31 woman is an early riser. She understands, that there's things that need to be done. And even though life can be busy and your schedule can get pretty long, that's still not an excuse, because you can wake up early and really find God. There's no, I don't have time for God. There's definitely time. And then another characteristic, which is really one of my favorites, I really love it. I think it's in verse 27, but it says that she suffers nothing from laziness. She suffers nothing from laziness. So part of Holy Girl Summer is to say, okay, the parts of me that are lazy, that doesn't want to step into the calling that God has on my life and do the things that God wants me to do, this is the time to really step into that, or maybe just let go of some things. Another part of Holy Girl Summer is about planning. So there's this verse in the Bible, it's in Proverbs, I really love this verse, and it says, good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. And I think that verse is so true, because unless we have a good plans, unless we actually plan, we can't really, like, without a vision, we can't really get anywhere. We can't really reach our goals. And I think a lot of the times the reason we don't reach our goals is because our planning fails. Like, we really plan and we really fail in planning. So before we like pull out, the monthly calendar and start planning there, I suggest like get like a separate sheet of paper and just kind of write down first what your goals are. And after you have heard from the Lord, and he has like kind of told you what he wants from you this summer, you kind of write it out down first before you put it into your monthly calendar. You write it out first because it's easier to see, okay, this is what I want to accomplish, and now let's actually make a schedule. And after you write it down, then you pull up your monthly calendar and then you start kind of filling in your days. So this is what has honestly worked best for me. But I realized that when like I write, okay, so I put like my non-negotiables. So one of them is Bible study. Like, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I have to be there, right? And then I start planning out other things like what days are going to be my YouTube upload days, what are going to be my editing days. And once you see everything kind of written out and your vision is kind of laid out in front of you, you get to see like, okay, this is all the things that I have to do. I can't really not do it these days, right? Because I think that's what actually happens sometimes. We get really caught up like having maybe too much fun in the summer, or we like just spend too much time on social media or doing all these things that really don't matter, and then all of a sudden you kind of forget about your goals, and you just kind of like, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, or next week I'll start next week. And so it's really about like planning out your schedule into detail and saying, okay, like, these are the days I'm going to start learning something new, and these days I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And so yeah, I think that this verse really proves to be true. And I really think it's funny that even though the Bible was written such a long time ago, it still speaks to today, and it still speaks to this generation, because this generation is like, we're in this microwave generation. That's what this verse is talking about. Like, hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. And the reason that a lot of times we don't succeed is because we're like in haste. We were trying to live fast paced like the rest of the world. And we don't want to plan out the things that are going to take a long time. And it's going to take kind of that process to kind of reach those things. And we just kind of want the shortcuts. And I love that the Bible even speaks to like, okay, we're just want to live in fast pace, and we want things now, and we want to just reach those things like tomorrow or like today. And it doesn't work like that. So I love that God says with good planning and hard work, then you would reach prosperity. But until then, like, if you're trying to take hasty decisions and make haste decisions and take those haste shortcuts, then it's going to lead to poverty. So I think that every time the Bible proves to be true. But this is why part of Holy Girl Summer is good planning. Another part of Holy Girl Summer, and I'll end with this, is to also have fun. Like, let it not all just be like very serious, but also to have a lot of fun. So here I'm giving you guys a glimpse of what the married life kind of looks like, and you'll be seeing a lot more videos on marriage and like what I've learned in marriage so far. But on this particular day, Sebas and I decided to do like a barbecue and have like a date night. And so typically I'll do the like sides and he'll do the protein, but I heard this on a podcast the other day, like on what to talk about during date night, and it was like these 3 questions. So like the first question was, how did I make you feel loved last week, right? So that was really good, because you get to see like maybe something that you thought was like kind of dumb, for them meant a lot. The second question is, how did I not make you feel loved last week? And so that was really cool, because if you don't like kind of speak things, then you don't communicate them, they'll kind of like bottle up and then not be good. And the last question is, how can I be praying for you this week? And so I just share that because I just really love that. And I think that's been like something that we've been incorporating. And, marriage is so much about like hard work and, like making it beautiful every single step and not letting love kind of die down, but yeah, so also like for the summer and for the Holy Girl Summer is, scout, like learn how to scout. Like right now it's really hot in Florida. It was literally 97 degrees No. It's like a love and hate relationship. Like, I love you, Summer, but like you're really, really hot down here. But anyway, yeah, it's about really scouting out, like maybe finding out like local coffee shops. Like, oh, you know, I want to try something different, like switch things up, and like, okay, let's go work at the coffee shop today, or let's go do something in the library today. I don't know. Something that me and Sebas really love to do is we love scouting like new brunch places. And we found this spot in Miami. It's called Cafe Bistro, and I got, like, right now I just got a virgin pina colada, and it was so good. It had like a popsicle inside. It was like great. And then we had like chocolate croissants, and we love scouting things. It's like part of like what we do in the summer. We just kind of scout brunch spots. We do this a lot actually all around the year. But that's it, guys, for this Holy Girl summer. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.